It's Doug Stanhope Podcast brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audiblepodcast.com/Doug Stanhope and get a 30-day free trial with a free book. And they have over 180,000 titles to choose from. I fucking remembered that. I didn't even know I had to do a plug until I just started to say Floyd is back, but his ass cancer's gone. Yay. And he wandered over. You drove a car.
Drove.
Yeah, so you're mobile.
I'm mobile.
I had to do some shit all day. We'll talk about it later. Filming some stuff for a project we're doing. And you showed up and we got done the last thing and you were coming over and I go, fuck, if Floyd's going to be here, we got to get a podcast out while you're out and about. Because I never want to bother you, but everyone wants to hear the follow-up.
All right.
You get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You get some good stuff. Let's get to how are you?
I'm recovering pretty well. It seems to be a long process, and a lot of low energy, a lot of days where I sleep a lot, and just doing normal things is really, pain in the ass.
We talked about stopping by your house that day. We're walking the dogs, and I was more scared of the baby than you're showing me your.
Yes, you should be.
Your war wounds were less creepy than a baby being pushed at me. But I follow your Twitter at Arizona Lizards.
Yeah.
Lizard or plural?
Arizona Lizards, plural. MSN.com.
So yeah, when I follow your Twitter and you always sound upbeat, but you can do that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right now you look like you're gonna fucking die right at our podcast.
I had some pretty low moments, and I'm glad to see them, behind me. But most of them were at the hospital. They're just really when they had to do a second surgery, it was like they did it once, and it fucked up. And it came out, and it was my stoma, which is my new asshole, wasn't the
coming
right
out
color.
of your gut.
Yeah, when they woke me up out of the thing, and they were explaining things to me, and one doctor says, "Well, your stoma looks a little too red. It should be pinker." And because I'm seeing so many doctors, I can't even count them, So I thought, well,
my niece right now would say more pink, not pinker.
More pinker, yes. Yeah. So it's like. So I have to start the recovery period, which starts just by getting in a walker and trying to move across the room because I'm in so much fucking pain. And then, can I say that on a podcast? Fucking good. But
we'll bleep it out. Now that we're sponsored by Audible.com.
But just getting across the hospital room, my room, from the bed to the chair is like, incredible. That's my thing. That's my thing for the day. Then I go back and rest.
How many days after the procedure were they having you get up to do that walk across?
Well, they had to do 2
procedures.
procedures.
That was the very first day. And then the second day, they made me do more, and they just keep making you do more and more. And then pretty soon, you're walking around the nurse's station with a
IV?
With IV. Yeah. And I got to that point, and I got to the
And they all fake clap.
Yeah, they all, I thought I was doing good, except I hadn't shit yet. I was passing a little gas, but it was all, you haven't shit, you need to shit, you really need to shit. And then finally they decided I progressed long enough to let me eat. And I hadn't eaten for 2 weeks. Seriously.
Wow.
It was like a fast the day before I went in. And was it 2 weeks or 1 week? No, 1 week at that time, but I hadn't eaten anything for 1 week at that time. And
you should have been on Naked and Afraid without an asshole.
No, wait, they let me eat Jello. That was one thing they let me eat the day before. But
sugar and animal like jelly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
eat up.
Yeah, but they gave me a menu, and I knew something was wrong when they gave me the menu, and I could not find a single thing I would imagine eating. It was just, and I was starving, and so I didn't order anything, and then I was talking to Liz, and we were. Blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly I said, give me a bucket. And I started puking. Man, it wasn't puke. It was
bile.
Backed up poop.
Oh!
That's what it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because it sure looked like it and smelled like it. And just like.
Wait a minute. What about the other sense? Did it
taste like it?
It wasn't pleasant. And that was just the beginning. That was just And just when the Titanic just barely nudged that iceberg. And it just went down the hill. So it's like,
Do tell.
well, I guess you're not having dinner. And
It's the Doug Stanhope dinner hour, brought to you by Audible.
the next thing,
He ate 2 breakfasts.
the next thing they do,
He ate the same breakfast twice.
the next thing they bring out a stomach pump, and I don't know if you've ever had a stomach pump, but you never want one. And
It's never come up.
it's just like a hook that sucks air, and it's attached to these. It goes down and has these tentacles that hang down. These like 3 tentacles. It looks like a little space alien.
So the tentacles go into your gut.
Yeah.
Well, they go down your throat.
No. Yes.
And
But it's how they get to your throat.
Yeah, and you're awake during
Go
this.
ahead.
They go through your nose.
Oh.
Up through your nose, down through your nasal cavity, into your throat, and down into your stomach, and they suck up the shit you didn't vomit.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
Yeah, they just sat there and stuck it up for a week, and all I can eat are ice chips. That's it, ice chips, or all I can have,
Oh, so you throw up a poop smoothie.
I didn't throw up anymore. I was, but it was, and they had a Dilaudid drip, every 8 minutes, to help move me along.
Is that helping them be able to insert the tube?
It's helping me keep from just going totally insane and killing them. It's just,
That's a very I would imagine a very uncommon feeling.
It was the most horrible. It was one of the most horrible
all the way
moments
down.
in my life. But it's just still getting worse. So it's painful at first to have that thing in my face, and my nose. And so I said, give me something to sleep. Give me something that'll knock me out. And they gave me, I think it might have been lorazepam. I'm not sure though. It could have been something else. But
Pams are usually really not strong. I've eaten other people's Pams.
I think it was a tall, because that's what I remember saying, but I can't remember.
Talls are good.
I was pretty delighted out, so I don't remember what it was. But I think it affected me like I've heard Ambiotol affects people.
All right.
Because I woke up in the middle of the night, but I wasn't awake. I mean, I was aware.
Oh, you mean Ambien?
I don't know I don't think it was Ambien that gave me, but it was like I've heard things happen.
Yeah.
Where I was aware of my world, but I was not aware of my world. My world was a dream, and I could see where I was at. I could see the nurses running around the station, and I could see my room. My room was my room, but it was actually a back alley, and there's a cafe across the street. But I could see my fucking room, and I could see my feet, and I was aware of being lying on the bed, and everything else was screwed up around the whole
I've done
house.
shows like that.
It was real, but it wasn't real, and everything was turned a little different, and so I got out of bed at some point, and which was pretty amazing, because I wasn't supposed to even scoot across the room without a walker.
How many days roughly is this in?
This is the night before my second surgery.
All right. Which is how many days between the
I
surgeries?
think that was a week.
All right.
So I was up. I was still able to move around at that point anyway. So, but anyway, the nurse comes in and goes, "You're not supposed to be out of bed. You're not supposed to have 2 heads." Fuck you. It was like that. I was trying to communicate to her, and I couldn't. And she's just staring at me like, because I'm talking about all the things that are going on, what's with the cafe?
What's with the cafe?
The cafe that was across the street, not from my room.
An imaginary cafe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
What's
in
with
his
the
room.
cafe.
He went to sleep. He had a private room. He woke up and he was in a cafe.
All right. So let's keep this Titanic going into the iceberg.
I could have seen myself going out, getting in my car, and going somewhere. I mean, I had that much awareness, but I had no awareness.
You drive right through the imaginary cafe.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm late for my shift.
So how long total were you in the hospital?
I think 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
All right.
2 weeks and a day, maybe. I don't know, but
Roughly.
yeah. Once I started pooping again, then they pretty much
Out of your stoma, not out of your mouth.
Right, yeah.
The one-way road.
They moved me right along after that, and I was, I was at home. I had all these tubes coming out of me. I had a catheter because I still hadn't been able to pee on my own yet at that point. And I had a wound vac, which is this machine that sucks your stomach in.
We just talked about this on the podcast. The wound vac is the thing on My 600-Pound Life where that woman's stitches blew out. Yeah. So they sucked it. I know what the wound vac is.
All right. Well, that's what they got, and I got one to take home.
Wait, was that for your asshole?
No, that was for this across my stomach, the big chasm, which I had to cut open twice.
Did they actually have to cut your asshole out?
Yeah, pretty much.
So that picture that horrified you, someone tweeted, that was kind of accurate?
I haven't looked.
The stapled asshole? Okay.
It's kind of like, like a potato that has those eyes, and you get the thing, you dig out the eye.
No, that picture wasn't like that at all.
I'm not sure I'm going to look.
Yeah, I wouldn't look. I have an asshole.
Well, the rest of you might get a shot.
I don't squat over a mirror just to be proud of. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Sorry. Well, so they had to go through the front and the back, and they had the wound vac on the front.
At least I can't remember. There was there were 3 places at least they went through.
Well, as I remember, the front was going to be where they put the port, the stoma.
But that's not where they put a wound vac. Where did they put the wound?
The wound was right next to that. That's where they had to reach in and deal with stuff and move
fiddle.
Stuff around, fiddle, take everything out.
But yeah, I guess if behind drywall, if they're going to put in a socket, they have to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but you did have to have the problem being this whole thing was because the cancer was so close to the anus that they couldn't save it.
That's
correct.
Right. But they had to actually cut out a part of the anus in case it was cancerous.
Yeah.
It's all precautionary shit, and maybe it didn't need to be done, maybe it did. But the important thing is they sent the mass or whatever it was to the lab, and it came back 100%, positively gone.
Wow.
Which is, it's sometimes good and sometimes but it's good news,
But get back to the wound vac, because that's where I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, right.
So they had the wound vac.
Well, they put all this plastic tape over you, and then they put this little. Well, let me turn this off.
That's all right. We'll take callers.
Yeah. That it's got foam.
We already described this on a podcast a couple
so
weeks.
You don't have to describe it again. But
Nope.
But anyway, they put all this stuff in it and sits there and just sucks it up, and it makes it heal a lot faster.
It's like positive pressure. It's like keeping it like nice and tight.
Yeah,
so you don't bust it out.
And it pulls all the goo out, all the drainage and stuff.
Oh,
and,
didn't know that.
And then it just they move it every few days. I got a nurse in every 2 days at the house, and they would change it. Finally, they got it to where it was healed, and it should have been healed by now, and the nurses should be gone. Except it developed. I smelled something stinky the other day, and like I go, what the hell is it?
Did you burp?
It smells like feet, It's like it smells like feet. What can I say? And it's on my skin, my skin down there, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. I finally showed it to Liz. I said, "Do you see anything down there?" I held my stomach like that, and there was a hole at the very bottom of the scar, which was squirting out juice.
Ow! I love Chaille's not taking this well.
I knew that was coming, and I couldn't.
What are you having for dinner?
Not what you had for breakfast. Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's the title of this podcast: is Floyd's Dinner Show, the Doug Stanhope Dinner Show podcast with Floyd. Okay, so is the Titanic close to sinking at this point?
Well, we're past the worst part of the Titanic. The crushing thing was the night with the 2-headed nurse. That was my low point. That was my absolute low point. But
and Liz, your wife, she stayed with you the whole time in the hospital?
Yeah, we have neighbors, and our neighbors let us stay in there. Let her stay in the house. So it's a really beautiful house.
Oh, nice.
And out by out by those pointy mountains out there. It just, it was really nice. And she got to take a week off from work because she has a government job and stuff, had a lot of sick time and stuff. So it's a good thing I really needed, I certainly needed someone there.
Well, while you were gone, we all pilfered from Miners and Merchants, your store here in Bisbee.
Yeah, you really need cameras in there, dude.
Or someone watching them. They had at one point there was a 9-year-old kid in there running the counter.
Oh, I took over on his break. I ran the register for a while.
Chained to the stool. We had people send you. This was the winner of the Floyd's fun bag contest. Was not actually a colostomy bag. It is a colostomy bag holder. I'll let Chaille describe it because he used to work for QVC as an announcer.
Well, this is it's like a one piece of leather, tanned leather that is been like flipped over and then grommeted on the sides, and it's got a. I don't know if this person knows how a colostomy bag works, but it's very decorative and it has a nice leatherette strap. And, as you can see, they did a lot of, laser etching.
I think you'd have to be walking around like topless at the pool because you couldn't really wear that under something. So if you were like that kind of person, like a goth girl who just, you know what? I'm fat, deal with it.
Yeah.
Here's my colostomy bag. I'm getting in the pool shirtless. You can
Is
wear
it okay
that.
if I wear it to your pool?
Read what it says.
It says Floyd's ass bag on the front, and it's beautiful. It's very beautifully made. It says Miners and Merchants Antique Center on the back.
Read that for him.
Storing Floyd's shit since 2001.
Storing Floyd's shit since 2001. And I'm sorry I don't have that guy's name, but we've already announced him on the podcast.
Well, thank you.
Someone else sent in this certificate. I'll read it for you. It says, Poop Expert. This certifies that Floyd Lillard has completed their studies at whopoop.org and is well versed in the eating and pooping habits of cows, chickens, and goats. Yeehaw. So there's a poop certificate. And this just came in today that Bingo,
I recognize a lot of that. Yeah, this is well done.
He recognized the poop on the certificate.
This is some kind of floral display coming out of a colostomy bag full of mock shit with fake flowers blooming from the top on a stand.
Okay, I gotta get
Circle of life, man.
Oh, yeah, get a picture. Don't know. Those are yours.
I get a picture of them
You don't get a picture right
It's
now.
going with you.
Oh, you're right.
Well, it's not. You can't take it with you, but you can take it with you.
Yeah.
And you can't look at your cell phone pictures in the afterlife. So just, yeah. It's good to have you back. We missed you. It was
good to be back. I swear to there were times where I kept thinking about that fail bail thing we talked about. I just thought about it until the last 45 minutes. I got to start running now. I can avoid all this.
Grab some plastic jug, pop off vodka, and run for the hills. Go to a Mexican resort, and drink yourself till that cancer hits the part of you that makes you not be able to drink.
Yeah, some of those stories eventually, it's going to get ugly, But,
well, yeah, you were ugly before it started, and now you're back, and
this is so cool. This is the very, very. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. Maybe the bathroom.
Wherever you put it, Liz will make you take it down.
Maybe not.
It's flowers, so it's welcome in the kitchen.
There was we heard some. You know how the Bisbee gossip mill works, so we heard he's doing great, and then it's dire, and then everyone's telling everyone, and yeah, you pulled out fine.
Yeah, well, it was just that I had to go back in again. I was doing great, and then shit happens.
Sometimes out of your mouth.
Oh, that was so ugly. No wonder. And then I was hungry after that. Oh, that was the very next thing. The very thing they come in and says, we're going to do a surgery. We're going to have to redo it. And I'm saying, okay, damn it. And then about 5 minutes later, the stupid little thing finally took a shit. And hey, wait, they shit. You don't have to do it.
Wait, my bag just pooped.
And they said, oh, it's too late now. You got to go back.
Well, you're back.
What a fucking trooper! Still smiling,
Yes.
like during the kiss.
He'll
Floyd's
be
ass
smiling
goodbye.
more once we let him go back to relaxing over in a recliner because he forgot his donut to sit on. So
no, I'm okay so far. I get up to a certain point, it starts hurting. But most of the pain is. I'm over most of the pain now.
Well, that's why my niece she's not just visiting for her birthday, but she's also here to rub analgesic salve on you anytime that you feel any kind of pain.
Well,
on any one of your...
that is the best one yet. The best gift yet. You guys went all out. I tell you, this is... I'm going to use this ass bag. I swear to God, I'm going to find a way to actually use it.
I know you will.
I'm going to show it at your pool party, man. Got my flotation device and an ass bag.
I'm the only dude with a pool, and it's an above ground pool.
You don't mind.
I don't mind at all. You're always welcome.
So you get some quart Ziploc bags.
The first time we went in that above ground pool, there was a no hot chick rule because it was all fat dudes. It was all us fat, untanned dudes. So we had a no hot chick rule, which, really, we never had to lay into stone because it's not really been a problem.
Or call it off.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this actual commercial. Hey, we've talked to you before about Audible.com, but are you one of those hipster douchebags who doesn't really count Audible books as reading? Well, you know what? I have the bookstore for you right here in Farmington, Maine. Twice Sold Tales. Come on down to Twice Sold Tales. You can get all sorts of... We have over 180 titles that you can come down and read. And they've been read before, so you know that they're good because someone read them and bought them, and then they gave them to us because nobody really reads books. But if you still like a clunky bookshelf, Twice Sold Tales right here in Farmington, Maine at 155 Main Street. Give us a call. Find out our hours. We're at 207-778-4411. Hey, what was that number again, Doug? 207-778-4411. We're Twice Sold Tales in Farmington, just somewhere a long way from Bangor. Enjoy your book. All right. Now that we're back, Floyd, you run a museum of sorts, an antiquery?
Yeah, 50 years of picking. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
I was 14.
You're a hoarder with an open sign.
I don't hoarder. I don't keep shit. I don't keep the stuff. I like the stuff, but I like finding it, selling it. I'm not a.
But if no one buys it, it's still for sale.
That makes me a collector when I can't sell it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're. So I was just going to go back into Twice Sold Tales, but it's pointless. Let's get back to your poop flap.
Okay.
It's your new bag.
Yeah. Well, no, the new leak. That was the problem, and that was we thought it was all healed, and it was all.
What?
Say it out loud.
Where we left off last time, Doug, was he noticed where I almost threw up was where he noticed the leaking lesion, the weeping lesion, underneath his scar, and it was basically it was pus or something, right?
Yeah, it was stunk, and it was a little stuff.
It was a weeping infection, probably greenish. Greg?
Nice, thank you.
A little more towards yellow, but whatever. But anyway. Yeah, well, anyway, so I had to go back to see the surgeon, and neighbor Dave drove me. Matter of fact, it was 112 stinking degrees in Tucson. We got lost.
Literally stinking.
Because you get there, they have an address. You get there, and there's 20 medical buildings, and you don't know which one it is. So it took us about a half hour to find which building it was. And the surgeon, had to open it up and just, now it wasn't weeping. It was like a stream, just pouring stuff.
Flowing yellow pus.
It's seems there's a cyst in there. And so I had to be cleaned out, and now it has to be cleaned every day. And I have to stuff, and I have to use
gauze?
a mirror. I have to use a mirror to do this because I have to do it myself. I have to use the mirror, put the mirror between my legs, and then see what I'm doing and stuff this gauze down in there. And just soak up.
Buttercheeks knows what that's like.
Yeah.
All right. This is Amy Binger Buttercheeks.
And then to go stand in the shower just before that to clean myself up. It's just a lot of maintenance, but it doesn't stink anymore. It's all clear. So
in case the ladies are listening,
it's a little slow healing. It's just this. If I could get this healed, then I could get on with the rest of the stuff they got planned for me.
Well, again, my niece out visiting for her birthday for 2 weeks, alone for the first time. She's 18, turning 19. So, she's, didn't have to be accompanied by a parental unit. So she's out here and she's happy to plug leaking, weeping, open, gushing sores.
I'm sure she would be.
Like the Dutch boy? A finger?
Yeah, finger in the dike.
Some things
You read that book, right?
Some things I just prefer to do myself, despite how enticing they are. I'm just that kind of guy.
And so how,
I won't even let my wife stuff this stuff down into my wound. I wouldn't even make her do that.
Whoa. You're putting something into the wound, like you're like fishing out a fucking pair of keys from a storm drain?
No, I got a little bottle and it's got string in it that's got antiseptic in it, and it's looks like a shoestring. And I have to start stuffing it down in the hole. About 10, 12 inches of it each time.
Oh, only 10 inches into your cavity?
A little tab hanging out. One time I went to open up the and I got
a ripcord.
I put gauze and tape over it. One time I opened it up and the string was gone. I go, oh shit. Because
I bet the ladies can sympathize with you. They've lost the string at some point.
Line up. You'll tell your own stories after this.
Town hall style.
The string's gone and you can't find it. I can imagine, but
we got experts here.
And I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. So I'm a little OC sometimes, I was got to be in there somewhere, but I think it just fell out, Well,
but the nice thing is you wouldn't ask your wife to go digging around or plugging you full of gauze.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Would you let her put a finger in your stoma if she were blowing you, just to get that weird tickle?
I'm just afraid it would hurt more.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's try this out. Don't think I'm weird. I once had an ingrown hair of epic proportions. I know, Doug, you've talked about this in the past. On the perineum. Anyone? The space in between the back of my balls and the front of the anus?
Yes, I used to describe that as the separation between church and state.
Yes. So I had something where I couldn't take a step with my right foot without whimpering. It was bad. And this is when I was in the band. So I was on stage and I was like, why is that guy's got a screwed up face? And I had to ask my girlfriend. Not Tracy, the wonderful Tracy, who would do it. I had to go back with my feet up above
knees at your ears.
Oh my God. And then she had to, darling, and she had to pluck around at that thing because it's not, yeah. And it's a thing where it's like I'm guiding the fucking thing down to the Titanic in the trench. I'm like a little to the left because she's hitting it, but I'm going, oh no. But I'm doing this blind man's bluff for her to like pick that hair out of it. It was fucking, and then it was a thing that wouldn't close for a while. It was disgusting.
Well, yeah, that's kind of in a weird place like Floyd's.
Yeah, not 10 inches.
That's a weirder place.
But asking someone to do something like that, talk about trust.
Well, he wouldn't do that. He trusted himself, and that's why you're no longer in that relationship.
Yeah, sucker.
Liz is still around because Floyd doesn't ask.
Believe me, it would hurt a lot more if she did it. I know. I just know.
Yeah, there's some things you have to just do yourself.
Yeah, but as soon as that heals up, then I can get on with the chemo. As soon as I get along with the chemo, I can get along with my life and blah, blah, blah.
So just a life with the bag. Let's just close on that because I don't want to keep you.
Any problems with the bag?
This what I was getting to.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but I did come out with a great idea. I got a new app for this. But anyway,
I didn't even know what an app was till today.
Apps you can sell them for a lot of money, and I'm thinking of this one.
He's about to whip out the bag. You're
I
grasping at the bag.
You don't want to see it. I'm not
sure. I want to see it. Do you see the way? This is why we need to do.
On the end of the
Wait. This is why we need to have some kind of camera on this podcast. Because if you've seen the way Chaille has ducked halfway under the table and still try to maintain a professional radio attitude while he's trying not to throw up, I want you to pull out the bag.
No offense, Floyd. No offense.
Okay, no bag. But anyway, the bag has this little foolproof thing on the end of it with Velcro to close it so that you can open it when you want to drain it and clean it, which I like to do a lot. And then you got to make sure it's closed back up real good, little Velcro strips, and you make sure it makes that little click, And I was warned by the nurse about 50 times to do that. And the other day I didn't. And fortunately, I was constipated the whole next day, but I did, I had a little very close call, just where it was, yeah.
Bulging at the seams.
I couldn't find anything on the floor anywhere. Let's put it that way. But it was, I started smelling something and
I saw the tweet where you said the most important thing about being new to a colostomy bag is seal the flap.
Well, what if you had an app for that?
What's that on the floor?
What if you had an app on your phone for that to warn you? You left your flap open. See, I think you could sell them.
What about red and green make brown? The little Ziploc thing, right?
Ziploc.
Yeah.
See, he's already stealing your idea. He's building better mousetraps as you talk.
I'm analog.
Floyd.
He's digital.
I just, I could just think that could be a very awkward social situation. Just can't imagine.
Well, I can't. I wouldn't even have a social situation
because you don't have any really control. It farts when it farts,
Yeah, I think we talked about that, putting a noisemaker on it.
Yeah, well,
so.
A cat call or a
some kind of Mexican lowriders horn.
I'm hoping this leather. I'm hoping this leather bag will maybe mute some of that.
So I have a question though.
Yeah, there should be a charcoal filter on that.
A charcoal filter and like some dead air padding.
They have charcoal filters.
All right.
Floyd looks like he gained 80 pounds. No, that's the muffler on his colostomy bag.
I actually lost 25 pounds.
Yeah,
it was all rectum. Apparently, I had a really big one.
You said I lost 25 pounds, and I'm just staring at his eyebrows, going, "You look the same weight to me."
I have a question though. We got these bags, and I know I'm a visual thing. We got a bunch of these bags on your going away or your kiss your asshole goodbye party, and then we had someone send this one in. Is this kind of what you're rocking right now? Is that?
Yeah,
pull out the bag,
this is the 2-piece here. See?
Oh, the 2-piece.
And the 2-piece. Well, no, this is a throwaway. This 2-piece throwaway.
Yeah.
Would you show my niece the bag because she does have a boyfriend, but different area code. She doesn't know the rules.
Bag. But anyway, the other bag.
So that's not the one you got now. This is a disposable.
No, this isn't a 2-piece. This isn't one. This is just a disposable. You take this out every day and throw it away.
Yeah.
But
that's not green.
That's not green at all.
Do they have eco bags? Like
I haven't found out yet.
All right. Well, you're in this town. You're going to find out.
Paper?
If Poco Kelly was here
Yeah.
and she saw you throwing a plastic bag into a dumpster.
How about a hemp bag?
Yeah. How about hemp bags? How about that, government? How about that, Obama?
You want something that works really good. You want something that seals.
Obama's stopping by the podcast soon. I don't know if you've heard. Since now we're officially sponsored by Twice Sold Tales. I'm sorry, and Audible occasionally. I find shit out at the break. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I was saying either. Where was I?
Obama is coming by.
Oh yeah, Obama's coming by. Maybe at the end of this podcast. I don't know. Maybe next time. I don't know what. Hey people, I don't know how much we're going to be podcasting, cause my niece is in town and we're going to try to do fun shit with her. We're going to take her up to Tucson tomorrow, do some vintage shopping. I don't know what else to do. We'll check what Floyd, his ideas are. And we're going to, take her across the border to Mexico. Just so she can say she went to Mexico, cause that's always a thrilling tale when you get back to Providence, Barrington. They don't know where fucking Barrington is. Don't worry. They're not showing up. Believe me. They don't show up here. I give out my address all the time. 212 Van Dyke Street, Bisbee, Arizona. If you want to send more shit to Floyd, colostomy bag related, send it to him at 212 Van Dyke Street, Bisbee, Arizona, 85603. If I can do that every podcast, I can just mention what state you live in, and you'll be fine.
Fine, then have them send shit to me.
Oh, then have them send shit to you. What's your address again?
No, they can send it here.
Oh, okay. Send Sydney Stanhope, Sidney Stanhope, at 212 Van Dyke Street, and we'll forward it to her as long as it's self-addressed stamped envelope or postage paid.
We got another puppy.
Yeah, if it's really good, we'll keep it. We got another puppy. I talked over that. I suck. We got another puppy. I think we should close on that. This is a short podcast because Floyd's looking gray and teetering. Let's take one more break, and I'll close on one of the things I have on paper in front of me, and then we'll go. Please hold. Great news, kids. The much neglected merch page on my much neglected website has been taken over by Ggreg Chaille. So we have tour t-shirts, podcast t-shirts. We have Pop-Off Vodka Presents t-shirts. Get them before we get sued, before we get the cease and desist. And a whole shitload of CDs and DVDs that span a lifetime. A sad, tragic, bloated lifetime of my fucking horrible thoughts and pontifications. So help me get that shit out of my crawl space. Thanks for that. And now, back to the podcast, previously recorded. All right, we're wrapping it up. Thank you for listening to this podcast. We'll try to get one out soon, but my biggest concern is trying to amuse my niece, who never has a look on her face like she's amused. She will not watch my comedy. She says she refuses to read my book. And I said, really? You won't read my book? Because she's a bookworm. And she said, no, I want to like my family. As though this is like all going to be trashing her family. Or I don't know what she meant by that. If she gets on that mic, maybe we find out. But I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to try to amuse her and try to make her think I'm the coolest uncle in the world, because I'm the only uncle she has. But I want to live up to it. We brought her out here as a kid. She came out, I think first we brought her shooting with Joby.
Like 3 years ago or something.
Well,
right?
she's been out here twice.
Oh, okay.
She's sitting like 5 feet from a microphone, but I'm smoking, and I try not to smoke around her. I smoke outside when she's here. She hates secondhand smoke. She gets migraines, and I go outside, but podcast, different rules. So yeah, the first time I think we brought her, shooting guns with Joby when she's like 13.
Nice.
And then, well, I'm sorry, I can't hear you if you're not on a mic.
That wasn't me.
You know, if you want to correct me, that's why I'm screwing things up on purpose, is so you get on the mic. All you have to do is just talk just say driving. Just correct me. You don't have to say anything, but if you say it, just say it into a mic. So the first time when you're 13 or so, we brought you driving. Is that correct? All right, you don't have to get on them.
Go ahead and mumble and I'll translate onto the mic for you.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. The President of the United States is going to translate. I told you people we were going to have Barack Obama on the podcast. And listen, I only have a few seconds with you because my niece is here. But all we asked you to fly in for, I wanted to ask you, why Maron? Why did you do Mark Maron's podcast and not ours?
I never considered you as white.
I appreciate. I love it when black people like me. Black people like me. It's a great thing. But I mean, Maron, he didn't even have booze. We have a full bar. We have minors here. I have a minor child. Well, not a minor, but when it comes to a bar,
Maron's a Jew, right?
Right.
Enough said, I think.
All right. Well, thank you, President Obama. But I have to get back to my niece, so if you could just beat feet. Thank you. The president finally showed up.
You're supposed to play the
I don't think Derek even knows about the Mark Maron thing. Like I was waiting for Chad Shank to show up, and I'm sorry, Chad, I've been busy, and I desperately always want you here, but I will just have Chad Shank be Obama and go, fucking Maron didn't even have booze and shit. and we were gonna plan it out a
And
little
then
bit.
you also didn't tell Derek he was going to do it.
Yeah, I know. He just showed
Derek,
up.
do you know who Mark Maron is?
I saw that thing on the news.
Don't
That's a
see-
no.
don't-
That's
yeah,
a no.
Yeah, he saw the thing on the news. We all saw the thing on the news. Yeah,
How do you get Jew out of that?
Saw the thing on the news.
he saw the thing on the news. I don't know. I just want Jack Jameson, you fucking cunt. Huh? How many emails did you send to Mark Maron going, oh, me and my friends are going to write you off because you laughed at the word nigger on your fucking podcast. Well, you know what? The president said it the next week on a podcast. You sending emails to him, Jack Jameson, you fucking nothing. You and your friends are going to write off the president. He's a dead duck anyway. We're going to write you off, Mr. President. And Mark Maron, how dare you let the word nigger be... Fuck you, Jack J. I'll never forget your name. Anytime this comes up, I will shit on you. Go fuck yourself. Back to my niece, or do we just close on that?
We close.
We'll just close on that. Hey, I'll be goofing off with my niece for the next week and a half, and but we'll try to get a podcast in. Hey, stay tuned, and thank you everyone for listening, and you're all good people. Let's close on. Have we done Welcome Back Cotter theme song since for Floyd? Let's do Welcome Back.
We haven't done it since.
Welcome back. Oh, we haven't done it since I sang it to a front desk guy at the
In
airport
Tucson.
hotel. He's like, welcome back, Mr. Stanhope. Welcome back.
We both sang the first
Your
verse.
dreams were your ticket out. And he went, what's that? I'll tell you what it is. It's this.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. We got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back. Welcome back. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.